You know what it was? We had such a mad one yesterday. I was very loud yesterday. I was very over the top. And I kind of burnt out. I was up till about 4 a.m. this morning, just like doing thumbnails and getting other stuff on the back end ready for like the next couple of weeks with the changeover to racing Shanuz. And I'm absolutely burnt out. And it's only day 2 of a day 4 week. Right, okay, let's take a look at this then. So, Terra Incognita. Let's check it out. So, it's a turn-based RPG tactical game. I'm really looking forward to that. Nice, easy one to get into the flow. It says, explore the harsh planet teeming with terrifying monsters. Experiment with talent builds. Up to 23 heroes available on release. You can assemble your own squad and learn secrets of the planet of Tenebris, I think that's pronounced. Let's have a little look-see. So it's okay, so yeah, so it's very positive reviews, over 200 people on release, and this game has just released. It's by Phantasmica Studios, which is a really cool game. I've actually just watched the Phantasma, or what's it called again? Is it Phantasma? I've been looking up the Phantasmagoria series because I want to maybe do a playthrough of those, you know, going back proper retro. But yeah, I've been looking up those, so that's funny that they would call their planet such a thing. It's single player, Steam achievement, Steam cloud saving, family sharing, and it has, of course, Steam Deck support. That's about it. That's all we need to cover really for that one. So we'll close that and we'll just jump in. Whoa, okay, you know what this is? Shanuz in space time. Okay, we hit campaign. And I got to tickle myself. We hit continue and away we go. So we've got the easy walk. Let's do that one. So it looks like you've got 4 difficulty settings there and they unlock as you go. I like this. Very aliens. Very aliens. I like it. Now, if you want the game louder, let me know if it's not quite loud enough to my voice. I don't want to be shouting over the top of it too loud. Affirmative. Okay, I like this. Like, this is kind of like mobile game, right? These artworks. I mean, I really liked it in Guild Wars 2 because they were custom artworks that they definitely did for the PC side of things. But I don't mind these sort of, I don't know if they're AI, but like these sort of generative characters in a game. They're not talking. There's no really no bad voice acting here, so that's great. And I think it just sort of sells you on like a little bit of a backstory to what you're doing. I don't think a game needs much backstory when it's set in space. If you're just fighting aliens, then just fight aliens, right? So we've got A and D. Oh, we can actually move. I wasn't expecting this. I thought it was like going to be like a disguised strategy game without the RPG elements. But it did say RPG in the description, and I didn't really take much notice of it because companies be talking shit nowadays. This one actually has... Yeah, okay, so we can move. We can drag the soldier icon to the desired slot. Ooh, and then he'll take a back seat. He kind of looks like, I mean, this guy looks like Robocop. Like, really bad. Okay, we've got M key for the global map. We've got I for inventory. J for the bestiary. Now, the bestiary is something that I don't usually get, so I'm just going to jump into here. Same as Power World, you know, you get a bestiary in Power World and Pokemon and stuff. Pretty cool. You've got skills, inventory, so you can upgrade your skills here. And you have a talent bar. This is actually way more in depth than I thought this game was ever going to warrant. Pretty nice. Let's jump in. So now it's nice and clean. You can see how Robocop-y and how Alien-esque these two characters are. Oh, hang on. Can we touch that? We can. Ooh. Okay, we've got weapons. Where did they go? Hello. So each weapon could be... I wish this box would go away. Like, most players are not this dumb that they need a tutorial for every single icon. Obviously, the necessary one's good. But like this one, for instance, I'm just going to drag this. I'm going to switch it out. Oh, you've got to be level 2. Okay, I got you. So these little... Yeah, level 1s. So each number, I think, corresponds to what level you have to be before you can equip that weapon, which is fair. I wasn't expecting this. I'm actually quite happy with this. It works nice with a mouse and keyboards. I'm not sure if you're getting my mouse cursor. I'm hoping you're not. But the controller support on this game will be great because obviously you're just using the analog stick to move around. You're going to be able to use the other analog stick as the mouse to negotiate your items. If not, the D-pad would be even better. And then this game would be couch playable, which is really good because it is very casual. Okay, we've got our first alien. We don't know what they're called yet. Let's click it. Can we have a look? Maybe if we defeat it, we get the beastery. Boom, 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 boom. Got the spray and pray. Okay, so it's this character next. It's just let me know. As if you've never seen a time bar before. They're pretty common. So now we're going to go with Robocod. What has he got? So he's got burst shot and he's got tech shooter. Tech shooter bust him up, boy. There's a little bit of motion blur there, but it's animated motion blur, which is fine. It's a slow-mo. Okay, this game's got some tricks under its sleeves. Again, why copy these characters so generically if you're going to be quite unique with what you're doing? It's I don't know if it's like a play on stuff like that up there. I can click that and gain some stuff. It's weird, like the whole environment. If you don't search every inch of it, you might miss something. This is not a bad way to go with a game like this. Now we've got a medic join our team, which is sick. Keeping the gender roles as they should be, as people expect, as gamers like it. There we go, we've got some armor there. So small. She is small. Okay, let's go with the high explosive grenade. Boom! Fire in your hole. Okay, now they're effed up because we got two moves. I've got toxic shock. You find it amusing that the Whammons fires a toxic shock, or is it just me? Let's go with the on point. Nice. Again, no slow-mo there, so maybe it only does it on the last character. Macheted. Toxic shock. I like slow-mo. It's good. It gives good atmosphere. And of course, as the game gets more difficult, you're going to have them more sort of nail-biting fights where you might not be equipped for the match, but you might still win. And therefore, when you get to slow-mo at the end, you're going to be like, F yeah, I like this. Whoa, hello. Is that a frenemy or is that an enemy? I think interacting with the background's my best bit about this. That and the slow-mo really does work to make the game stand out a bit. Okay, here we go. Now we've got one with a load of eyeballs on its booty. It's a little bit unfair to get in the initiative. So what are these down here? So we've got inventory, we've got settings. Okay. I think it's going to have to be like damage to all, right? Do some grenade damage. There you go. That does put burn on them, which is nice. And it gives you an icon and it tells you what it does. So kudos to the devs on that one. They have not lazified this game. They've just gone in and they've really took some time to sort of give the player a sense of that you're in control of everything. I vibe with this one. Show you for the finish. Go with the splat attack. Now that gives poison -3 on a second. This guy's got a little bot. And then dies. That's really cool. Now that guy got away, so we didn't actually finish all of the 3 Xenos. I think they are. I'm going to call them Xenos until I know better. There's no explanation to them at all yet. This guy's hench. There you go. We just got our tank. Oh, you're just in time. I'm starting to run out of ammo. Okay, cool beans. He had a whole triad of destruction behind him. Yeah, okay, I'm getting Ripley vibes now. Come on now. We've got the Big Mama coming. If it does Big Mama, I'm just going to have to check out and say that this game is a complete rip-off. But it's doing it in such a cool way. I wanted to fire in that AO because I've got the grenade ready. Poor old Robocop's at the back there. What else does she do then? We've got applies effect to ally. What does that do? It's a buff of some sort. Oh, now he does 15 damage. It's a damage buff for sure. Okay, blow to the gut. Kick move, but it missed. Okay, that's not good. Maybe the tank's not as powerful as I thought he was. He might just be there to soak up some damage. Enemy applies poison ×3. Let's burn this guy at the back. There you go. He can be taking damage. Then we're going to grenade him. Nice. Point blank. That's pretty sick. That was execute a combo. So off of one move, you get to do another move, which then stack up. That's really cool. Baby burn. Cut for the finish. You should have attacked us. Okay. You can actually click on this guy and get something from him, which is nice. Even this guy down here. It's all hidden stuff. Look, over the back. Okay, I didn't even think we were going to be able to do that. Again, everything is searchable. Okay, we've got Big Mama. Jeez. At the minute, there's no need for a heal, because every time we defeat an enemy, we're actually regaining health. And buff the big one. What the world of sporage is that? Let's go with shotgun. 15 on a shotgun. I mean, there's some distance there, but that should be way more powerful. We hit more than 15 on Robocod at the back. So we're going to poison them, then we're going to grenade them. That's what we're going to do. We've got four moves to regen on the grenade. I like the destruction. I like the fact their arms and legs fall off. They're not just a solid piece. They've thought about it ahead of time. More than meets your eyeballs on this one. Shaking his tail feathers, making some sort of poison dust over there. I'm not liking the look of that. Better take him down quick. Okay. So I think this little guy is healing this big guy. I'm not 100% sure because I've not really been watching what he's doing. So just maybe take him down just to make sure that isn't the case. We'll poison the big one there, even if he blocks. Because that's what he's been doing. He's been blocking all shots. Which is why we're doing very little damage. Point blank shot. His arms come off. Filth. And then poison for the finish. Yeah, it's enjoyable. It's a decent looking game. Sound effects are on point. And that's only the initial tutorial, I guess. But I'm having a good time with it. The game's pretty awesome. You like this one? I think we could play this again. I think we could definitely do a revisit or a second look if anybody's interested. I might be able to get some giveaway copies if I contact the devs, you know, maybe because it's an indie game, we can get some sort of giveaway stream going. So we complete the mission at the end, you get XP, you get buffs, you can then level up those characters. Really cool sound effects that make me feel good about what I'm doing. Yeah, jump in, 10 minutes. Look all the loot we got. Now we can equip like different armors and headsets. We've got different weapons and guns and health packs, Medilab. It's all there. Do you know what I mean? The RPG elements are rich with this one. I'm not sure I like this. Like, it's okay. It does the job, like I say. But it's not something I'm interested in. I'm just going to be skipping it and going through for the challenge. It's really just me versus bots. And I think that's where the main game is anyway. The story really doesn't make much sense to me. So we can actually upgrade Robocod. We can hit... Do we have to double click it? Oh, there you go. Double click it. So let's double click Robocod. And we'll see what we can equip. So we can take the mask. Exchange. Take the gun. Exchange. Armor. We've even got like a drone, which we can put instead of his... what was that? Instead of his floor drone laser, we now have a what looks to be a copter drone. And you can do this for all of them, you know, anyone that it will fit, it will be able to take the new parts. It does seem like it give you a full set of armor and helms for everybody. She's got a backpack there. What else would she do? This one. There you go, leveled up. Same with this guy. A shame there's no auto-equipped from what I can see. I can't just hit a button and get the best loot from our inventory and have it auto-equipped in there. That would kind of feel a bit cheap at times, but I feel like if you're in the game, you're getting a lot of loot and you don't want to mess around, it would be a good option for certain types of players. Okay, now we've got... See, these names... One problem I've got so far is the names. The names of the characters suck. I mean, you can come up with a little bit more of a reasonable English language type of name than Oxentius. I mean, that sucks. Like, I'm not going to know. I'm not going to be able to, like... I'm not going to be able to relate to somebody with that sort of name. Like, if we can get some better naming or even rename our characters, that'd be even better. You know, Jeff, Bob, Steve, and Dave. The most generic army out there, but like at least you could relate to him, right? Dave got plaits, you know. I'm not going to be talking about what's his name, Honoratus. I'm not going to be saying that while I'm live streaming. I'm not going to be saying that in my head while I'm playing the game. But if you got a Steve there, you know, then be like Steve when he misses a shot. You know, you got to have these moments where you can like relate to your characters, and with them names, ain't nobody relating to them characters. You heard? So we've got level 2 machete. We've got the machete up level 2. It doesn't look like I've got a helmet or armor for this guy. So we're just going to keep it basic and try and level him up on the next one. So we click the waypoint. We click the... Now let's clear these off. Then we can see what we're doing. Engage. So we need to engage. Conduct a rescue operation. So it looks like we have to put our characters into there. And because we haven't updated... his name's Syphilis. So we leave Syphilis at home because that's not something I want to take with me. Jimmy, exactly. If we could name him Jimmy, it's a lot better than Syphilis. There we go. I did see that till the last minute. Right, we'll do one more stage. I think I'm ready to sort of sum it up. It's going to be rinse and repeat. It's going to get tougher. You're going to get better armor and stuff to balance that out. And you're going to obviously start using strategy later on to use the best weapons for the situation against the best characters. And you're going to be able to replay with save games. Everything runs really sweet. It runs on your mum's potato. It's basically 2D with barely any engine. I think it's running in... what's that one? Not Unreal. Oh, I always forget the name of it now. Very few people will use it. I'll tell it at the end. Hang on, let me have a look. Should be hard to find. If I do Unreal versus, and then it should come up. I'm going to kick myself when I see it. Unity, that's it. So yeah, it's running in the Unity engine. Very easy to run and also very compatible with Linux and the DEX systems. Again, I'm just using WASD really. Just not even that. I'm just using A and D, and then I'm using my mouse to click everything on a screen. This is going to be very easy with controller. I would imagine that the things in the background actually have controller symbols, like just press X when you go past them. Like up here, there's a little crystal. You can see it glow as I touch it and touch off it. So if I click that, we're going to be able to gather that, and then obviously you're looking around like a weapon on the floor there. Again, the scenery becomes living and breathing because you're able to interact with it. And what's really cool with the PC version playing like this, I can just hit 1, 2, or 3 on my buttons, and it'll actually just attack the closest dude there. And you know, and I don't have to use the mouse at all. But I will, because I find it more enjoyable. There we go, and then we can poison all of them. Yeah, they've got regenerative spores, so we need to take out these bat guys. They can actually regenerate each other. Which would ordinarily, if you didn't notice, become a bit of a problem. If you've got 4 of them, they've actually done a runner. If you've got 4 of them, you could actually like regen each other, and then just, even if there's a boss, they could all regen the boss every move. So that might become a problem. You've got to weed them out first, take damage from the boss. Therefore, you need like a lot of armor. Thank God you are here. Soldier report. Why are we worried about some sort of hologram? We're doing all right without the hologram. Ah, we've got a new member in our team. Okay. Pertinax. Sounds like something the doctor would give you when you got that, you know, uncontrollable itch. So I held the left button to go in the cave as opposed to going straight. You have the option of doing both. Really cool feature as well. So you can actually pick the direction you're going in the stage. Again, there's not like a massive amounts of options. Hang on. Mass amount of options. But there's enough to give you at least a choice and stop the game getting boring. Like, what would happen if I went straight left there, or right? What would happen if I kept going right as opposed to going up? And then sometimes you're gonna have like down, and be able to go back on yourself. So I would imagine. So there's all these options that you could do that could either get you in more trouble or find you more loot. Okay, this one's got a piercing shot. Oh, she's like a snipe. Fair dues. We're ticking all the classic boxes already. That's a disease. Sounds like it. Okay, I'm just going to get through these real quick. She's actually alright. She's got close range handgun and a snipe, and we get health gains every time we win. So she's going to be able to survive from the back row very easily. Yeah. I like their torchlights as well. They've really put some effort into this game. I like it. Little cheeky glow on things as you're going as well. Getting to learn these enemies is going to be my first go-to, because I know that the guy with the eyeballs at the back, he's got the regen power, so I need to get rid of him first. Not everyone can reach him though. No, can't bayonet strike, can't shotgun him. So we'll just take out the weaker one with him. One more of them and the regen's done. I love the way the eyeballs are getting burnt on his back. Like, the more we hit him, the more damage he's taken from the bullets. I think they're supposed to be bullet holes where we've shot the eyeballs, but I don't think I've hit him that many times. He didn't regen himself, which is awesome. He regens everyone else. He's selfless. A selfless xenomorph. Ouch, in the face. Yeah, this is a tanky enemy right here. Poison that. Try and take his armor down a bit. There Snipe. Not really doing big damage. I was hoping if we could weaken his defences that we could do more damage. That might come later. Maybe they've added that in. I can't say for sure. That would be a good strat. Yeah, there you go. And I don't doubt there's going to be enemies later that I would choose to put in the game where they have armoured arms. So as you shoot, they block. But over time, the armour's getting damaged. It's coming off. You know, and that then will give you a visceral feel about what you're doing. This game's all right. Like, it really doesn't offend. It doesn't annoy. There's nothing going on with it that I dislike. I can even pick that crystal. See that one right at the back on the right there? I can grab that from all that way back, which I didn't know we was able to do. So I might have missed a couple on the way. I don't know why my medic's at the front either. So maybe if we pull this out, we switch around our characters. There we go. We can put the tank at the front. Makes more sense. Robo-Cod as backup. And then we put the Whammons at the back because they've got the least amount of armour. And away we go. Okay, I clicked to go down there before I was aware, so maybe I can get this before we move. So we'll come, I guess, yeah, we can't go through here. So we'll come up to a dead end. We're going to now leave the cave, which then we missed the chunk, right? I could probably go back and do this level again and then just like keep going right, and I won't miss that middle chunk. I can't actually go back manually now. So everything that was prior to this, but on the foreground, we can't, yeah, on the foreground, we can't now get to, which means there's replayability there. So that's already ticking that box. It's a very pretty game, very good looking game, very easy to run. Like I say, very compatible with all systems. Just, I think there's a massive market for this type of game as well. Do we want to buff? Let's buff this guy. Hoorah! Then we're going to keep him at the front for a tank. Everyone else can just pop shots. Time for your poison. Time for your dose. Yeah, look, we got protection on that anyway. Sniper. Missed. The sniper missed. Wow. You'd think out of all the characters, the sniper would be the most accurate. Okay, we're going in with a knife. 17, it's not too bad. It's about the same as a shotgun blast. I still think the poison's one of the better moves in the game, because it does 10 damage and then does damage over time. Ooh, 24 to the face. He didn't block it. That sniper missed again. I'm not using the sniper again. She's better with a handgun. She's obviously got the wrong job. Something's not clicking with her at the moment. She started off strong, you know. She was headshotting everyone, doing a lot of damage. Now she just give up the ghost. Okay, this guy needs like a punch in the face and he's done. He's killed himself. The acid done it for me. His towel fell off. The man's done. Hoorah! Tragically, the squad is dead. But on a bonus, I got loads of items, so yay! Mission completed. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I really like this, and if we can replay these stages, I'm going to be sold. I'm going to double check that. Look at this stuff we got. At the moment, it does like seem, because they're only in tutorial stage. Okay, let me just quickly do these upgrades. We didn't get a choice in those. That's tutorial making us do that. Take him, put him there. And then we get some sort of scanny scan. We'll apply, and I guess that just gives him basic buffs. It's the cryo center. Right, so we'll take her. Oh, we can hire more. You can duplicate, and they have different names. So this one's called Flora, which is a way better name than Pertinax. That just sounds like something you're going to put in some lean or something. So, yeah, I mean, it's okay. I wish this tutorial would bugger off. Like, they've given you too much here. Like, you've done some good gameplay. Now you're going to spoil yourself with mobile tutorial. Like, it won't let me click anywhere. I've got to click the first one it wants me to do. Send 2 level 1 heroes. Okay, well, they're the new guys. Can I send even more, though? Engage. Okay, so you can send heroes out to do jobs whilst you stay at home and do something else, which is really good. You can go on an excursion, but you can send out other heroes to make money and get items in the background. So you're getting essentially double items per drop. That's actually a really good mechanic. It is a mobile mechanic, unfortunately, but I see a lot of mobile influence here. I don't think a lot of people mind it so much nowadays, especially the younger audience, teenagers and stuff. They're going to like this mechanic. To me, I'd rather just cut it all out. Like, it's okay to have it, but I think they're kind of leaning into it too much already. It's making me buy stuff now, and I just like losing interest because it's making me do stuff. I liked it when it was just all manual, all self, taught and self-fought. Let's go back to the global map, skip all this junk. Okay, cool. So let's have a look. So it does look like we can't return to that particular stage again. It does look like these are new, but I might be mistaken. This could be the same stage. This is level 2 to level 3, and this one is the command center of the hospital. So this is like home base, right? So this does look like a new stage here. So yeah, I'm going to say that it's going to have replayability, but maybe not over the same stages, which is a missed trick. Let's, how long have we been on this one? I'm sure I've played this too long. Yeah, I probably will give it a miss for another one. Let me go to main menu. I think I've played enough to sort of sum it up. Right, what do I think of Terra Incognita? I think it's actually really good. It's actually really surprising that the attention to detail, the sort of mini games within the game, collecting items, scavenging dead bodies, collecting xenomorph parts, and the actual upgrade system is really nice for the guns and armor, but I don't like the upgrade system for everything else. I'm not really sure I'm going to gel with the whole sending people out while you do other jobs, and that's going to just be a double loot gain. So you might as well just give me double loot gain and not actually had that. It does feel very mobile. Overall, the vibes are strong with this one, and by no means would I say that anything that I could pick at, like the names of the characters, are really negative. It's just solid, It's one of those that if I was going to score, would score quite highly, but until the game's release, I'm not really willing to do that because they could change the story on us. They could change the way the game plays. We've seen that before. So as a early test, I'm gonna, I mean, the game is out, right? Let me check. If it is out, I will score it. Let's take a look. I think it was out, this one. Yeah, this one is out. Okay, we can score this one. I'll shut my mouth. Right, so if I was going to score it, I'd go by the 5 magic number. We go by visuals, sound effects, playability, replayability, and of course fun. Now, it was very surprising to me. I think it had a lot going for it early, but the game does retail at $20. Now, that's way too high for me. I think this game is more of a $10 like golden gem, right? If it was $10, I'd be shouting from the hilltops that this is a great game. Now, you can get that in a sale, and bear in mind the game is in early access, so maybe they're just trying to recoup some of their costs, because they have done fairly recent fairly decent job here recently, and I think they probably are just trying to recoup some of that money. But to me, it's like, don't be greedy on your first major project. I think 10, maybe 15 at a push, and then you can get it for $10 in a sale. This in a sale is still going to run you about 13 or 14 quid, which isn't a bad price. But overall, I think it's just too much. I think it's a $10 game. I'd be shouting about. If it was a $10 game, I would be shouting about it. But at $20, I think the price has just overpriced itself. For the amount of gameplay and elements in it that are borrowed from genres, borrowed from movies and other games, and the whole thing being that you can get a better game for a tenner now, just lets this game sort of sit in the back and no one's really going to sort of notice it. I'm hoping that you guys do go wishlist it and follow it, because I feel like it's got something going for it. Let me know if you purchase it, and let me know how you find the game. So let me know if you enjoy it. It's got overwhelmingly positive reviews, over 200 people. So I reckon there's some decent depth here with this one. But at $20, that's just a too high a price. Now, going for the score, I mean, visuals are on point, sound effects are on point, the playability is on point, the fun factor is pretty awesome. But the replayability, I'm yet to see. So I'm going to have to score this one based on what I've seen, and that is a solid 4 out of 5. Now, the price being $20, I would go to far as call this a 3.5 out of 5, because the price is just too high for my taste buds. But for what you get in the package, again, £10 would have been a bargain. £20 just seems a little bit too high. So somewhere in the middle would have been better. That being said, I want to thank all of you guys for your time. Thank you for joining me. I hope I brought something new to your Steam library. And thank you for following through with the NextFest videos we've done this year. This is like a bonus on top of the bonus NextFest. We are now finishing these off. I do have 3 more of these games to test today. If you're watching it on a rerun on YouTube, definitely use the links down below or follow along at the end of this to get the 411 on the next video. And sorry, the next game from NextFest. That being said, thank you for your time. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye. There we go. Run out of breath when I do these intros, I swear. All right, so I'm going to fire up the next one. Bear with, buddies. Bear with. I've got a little crack in the corner of my mouth, and I mentioned it yesterday, and it's got worse. It actually hurts more today than it did yesterday, but I digress. I have myself a nice bottle of gin. I am good. So I'm going to stop the recording in between each one. This one just literally fired up and is now on OBS, so I'll double check that with OBB. It's better to capture the Pacific window. Go, no problems. Sweet as a nut. Right. So bring up Steam. Bring up chat. Right, okay, this one looks interesting. Very strange. Okie dokie. Again, these are just games that I found in my sort of shortcoming list that didn't make the final cut. So now we're doing this like a little extra bonus video just to squeeze them in and see what it's all about, because I might have missed something really good. Da, da, da. Right, this one's called Ruins of Dawn. Very good. It's a demo version, so it's not the full game and it's not an early release or anything. Let's have a look what it's got to offer. Right, guys, thank you for joining me today. Today we are checking out on the second video. So if you have followed through from the first part, which was, oh bloody hell, here we go, which was Terra Incognita, then I appreciate your viewership and I appreciate your time. We're now doing a thick and fast deep dive into Ruins of Dawn. Let me drop this, go back into my page. There we go. So Ruins of Dawn, my mouth. Ruins of Dawn is a action loot-driven role-playing ARPG crafted with a solo loot enthusiast. Crafted by a solo loot enthusiast, which switch classes anytime with hundreds of random affix combinations. I think that's supposed to be affix, but it's, you can see it's a bad translation. For gear stats and a unique forging system with tough bosses. I don't like tough bosses. Rifts, Ruins, and The Trials Await You. So the game is able to be wishlisted. There is a demo available to try the game for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. And it is a ARPG, so it is a slower paced game that has MMO elements, but in an ARPG camera style. Think Dota 2. Yeah, really good. So demo's available. Game's not actually released yet. Single player, online co-op, LAN co-op, so with your friends. And of course, there is no stats about any of the Switch compatibility. Switch compatibility? Jesus. Um, Steam Deck compatibility or Linux compatibility, but I can tell you now it's running. So we'll go through and see how the hardware plays with this one. Is it a nice guy or is it a stubborn Stan? That being said, let's just jump in. Right, go settings first, have a little knockabout in here. So we've got 720, no wonder it fired up quick. So we want to go with window full screen's fine. We want VSync on, locked at 60 because we don't know how draining. Sometimes with new games, especially ones that are not released, they'll hit your RAM buffer. So they won't optimize the back end, as we call it. So then the RAM just goes through the roof and you just end up with a bunch of problems. So setting it to high, not ultra, and setting it to 60 gives you the best chance of success and survival on a live stream, that's for sure. Okay, we're going to jump into single player. We're going to go easy on our system. We're just going to name our character. And we're going to hit start game. So we didn't get to pick a class. We just got dumped a character that looks like he's going to have some sort of axe. Okie doke. Okay, we do have zoom, but it's very jank. Already it's very janky. All right, it's a quite quiet game, so you might want it turned up. See what happens. Okay, Japanese voiceovers, that's fine. A lot of reading to be done, which I am not going to do. Where do we get quests from? So beginner guide. That's the main guide there. It is in English translation, so that's something. You've got a bunch of animals here, and it tells you what you get from each animal and what you can be harvested and created. That's a really good system. I mean, it's super bare basic and it needs some work, but it has, like, this is the sort of thing you go to the wiki for and get the page up, right? But it's in game, so that's quite a nice touch. We've obviously got our items, which are movable, really good. So I like movable boxes and options. We've got the map that can be opacityed on the screen, which is strange. But yeah, it's an okay map. It's pretty basic. And then we've got our character screen. So you can see here we've got no helm. It does look like we can have up to 3 talismans, an amulet, bracelets, 2 rings, a belt, and boots. So a little bit slightly above the standard, I think, there. Right, so W, S, and D to move. Or you can use right button on the mouse, which is nice. At least you have the choice. And then there seems to be a box here. I can click it, but nothing really happens. This guy's got a talking point. I wonder if I can go into the sounds and maybe turn it up from there. It seems a bit weak. There we go. Effects, sounds, and ambient. Show enemy names. Show HP. Maybe show HP could be cool just for the demo purposes. Sounds really, there's none. That's about all we've got access to. It might be louder now. Okay. So H looks like a portal. Return home, yeah. And there's no attack button. Is it left click? Just left click. Okay, that's really cool. Feels very retro. Super retro. Oh, but I love it. It's an ARPG that feels like something like Dungeon. Oh, was it Dungeon Quest by Microsoft back in the day? Dungeon Hunter? Let me have a look. I need to get the name. You get me. It's like really old. Let me try. It was RPG. It wasn't an MMO. And it was called Dungeon something by Microsoft. Let's see if Google can help me out by filling in the blanks. I should know it. Dungeon Siege. So, yeah. Jesus Christ. Dungeon Siege series. Dungeon Siege 3 was actually really good because it had controller support and came out on the Xbox 360 in that time period. Whereas Dungeon Siege 1 and 2, I absolutely freaking loved because they were point and clicks and they worked on Windows 7 and, sorry, is it XP? I think it was Windows 7 I played them on, possibly XP. Both of those I think I had, yeah. So Windows XP, Windows 7, and just run really well. They had great voice acting, great stories. They don't hold up today, really. But for back then, they were the go-to MMORPGs or ARPGs, whatever you want to call them. I wouldn't go so far to call them MMOs, you know, because they didn't require online other than to register your game. But they come on like 3 discs and they were really good. This game gives off that vibe. Like if you've ever played those games or that time period, something like Icewind Dale, something along those lines. Even the original Diablo seems like it fits this art style. Now, what they have done, which I don't like, is that I think they're using Unreal 5. So what's happened is you've got that blurred out, non-sharp textures, just really dull looking look to the game. And that's Unreal 5, right? That is just how it comes out the box. I would love to be able to go into the settings, go down and find like FSR with TAA, you know, and be able to really push the sharpness of the game. There is no sharpness settings here whatsoever, and that is letting this game down massively because although it's cartoony and retro, but on a modern creator, the creator's letting it down, not the retro side of it. It's the modern tech they're using. So I could go for like ultra anti-aliasing, ultra post-processing. And again, I don't really like to because you don't want to break the game, you know, but it's not going to make this game any sharper. If anything, it just makes it look even worse because it's Unreal 5. And I keep trying to explain to people that Unreal 5 itself, if you don't know what you're doing, needs a lot of extra technology put into it to make it great, you know, to make them games pop. Something like Wukong, for instance, has a bunch of technology on top of it to help it get to where it's at. This game has none of that. So we're getting a very blurred out, and it does work, you know, it's okay. You could run it at 4K, that might help with the sharpness. But for me, I think at 1080 is pretty much when people are going to want to play this game on like an older system, maybe a laptop. And it's going to look kind of buffed out. It's going to look a bit bloomy. It's going to look a little bit blurred. Now, whether that's coming across on stream or not, I don't know. But it's a little bit of a problem with modern games, but the game isn't released yet, so hopefully they can sort that out. And not by just piling on DLSS and FSR. Try and do some work on the sharpness, you know, put some sharpness settings in there that we can actually make the game sharper. That'd be really good using TAA. I think this is the sort of game that would handle that pretty well. Okay, he wants to do a deal, but we've got insufficient materials, so we need to go out and do a bit of hunting. See, even though most of the translations is English, but half of it so far isn't, I'm still getting on okay. It's not a tough one to work out. Or Magdoors, happy days. Ah, okay, so those other crates had nothing in it because they were inside a camp, and obviously they've already been ransacked. We want to pull one enemy at a time if we can. There we go, we've only got a stick. It sounds like a sword, but it looks like a stick. Like, this works for me because it just gives me that retro vibe of like an old MMO. And the fact it's running beautifully on Linux already out of the box on a demo, you know, before it's even had any work on the back end done. When this game releases, I'd be interested to play it. If the devs want to hook up, you know, hook me up and send out the game, I'll definitely take a look at it and hopefully get some of those much needed sharpness settings added in. Okay, there's the raw meat. It needed a few of those for us to complete the task, so we'll just go around and bust a few of these up. I would say 5 would be adequate. That one didn't even give us any. Do you know what I appreciate? The animations of this game. A lot of the animals, when they die or attack you, they have separate animations. It's not static. It's not like they're going from transition 1 to 2. There's a couple of frames of animation in the middle. Like that thing lays on the floor quite heavily, like it's actually got weight. It's a really nice start to a game that could be something pretty decent. Okay, by using health, which is also on 6, which I don't want to get into with him at the minute. Let me try and Q. Ah, there you go. You can't activate it with a mouse. You have to press the button. So having that on the mouse side button could be a win-win. Now, I'm assuming this one in the middle is our level. You can't click it, which is a little bit of a missed trick. If you could click that one in the middle down, we could see how much we've progressed. But it also shows at the bottom anyway. It's kind of hidden. And because you can't resize your bar or crush it in and lift it up, it's kind of lost in the screen. It's very small. So at the minute, we're at 155 out of 200 on XP, 77%. I like the fact it gives us percentage, but it's such a small like detail on such a big bar. I would rather it be underneath this one at the top here, and then like I can hover it and then it just brings up those stats. It doesn't need that long ass bar anyway. And then when that one gets to a certain point, it glows, you click it, you get nice sound activation, then it goes to a 2, you know? So then you feel like you're really interacting and doing something with the leveling up. Otherwise, it's just going to get to the end and it's probably just going to have like a little screen notification. We'll see. I do like my sprinkles and sparkles, my glitz and glams. Yeah, I can actually take down 3 things right now at level 1. So as long as I chuck in a health here and now. Yeah, look, watch it flop. See, it was so underrated. That little sparkle there was me leveling up. That felt trash, bruh. That needs to be like really like a big event, you know? Like again, that 2 at the bottom should just go ba-down. And then I have to click it and it goes da-da-da and then gives me like some stats. And then also in the middle of the screen, it'd be nice to have something come up that sort of tells us, you know, well done. It's very low key, this game, and very early. It feels early, but it's doing a good job for what I'm seeing this early. It's got autosave just came up, you know? I can search things that you would ordinarily want to search but not be able to in other games. It's got quite a bit of depth to it, it seems, and it's by no means going to be a quick game. This demo would probably last about an hour at least. Yeah, we're having this guy up. Do you know what it feels like? It feels like early motion capture, but with some motion blur over the top. It feels like they've actually got these figures made. It does have that Diablo vibe. I think I'm leaning towards Diablo over Dungeon Siege now because it just feels so damn like captured rather than animated on a computer. Like somewhere there's little clay men that they created to make these things happen. Because the health potions and stuff don't fit with the characters. They're not as realistic looking. They're not as stylized. Okay, everything wants me now. Look, I've pulled too much. MMO issues. I'm assuming he does more damage, so we'll go for him first. It would be embarrassing to be oofed in a demo, to be fair. Okay, we've got beast hide and we've got raw meat. Now that should probably do us to get that quest done. There is also a quest further up on the screen now, but I think I'm going to go back and try and deal with the dodgy dealer. The man with the cow. 10. My man wants 10. I never clocked that the first time. He's a greedy beast. It's one of them games as well. Remember that your fun is leveling up, and the fact that the level up doesn't give you enough feedback can be a little bit of a problem, because looking forward to leveling up is part of this game. Like, you won't survive unless there is a fun aspect to leveling up. The gameplay's grindy, and that goes without saying. You're going to constantly be doing things like getting 20 of this and 10 of that, and talking to this person to talk to that person who they could have gone and talked to themselves. That is just basic RPGs and MMOs in general. But the gameplay sort of loop is quite fun. I like smacking the granny out of these. I like collecting items. It's pretty cool. I wish, like here, we could just run over it rather than having to click every item. If I just run over it, it should just pick it up. Now, if I go to inventory, where is inventory? Oh, it's on B. That's a weird one. Okay, B. If I go to inventory, you can see I've only got 3 raw meats, and it wants me to get 10, which is, let's be fair, a little bit ridiculous, because I have fought nearly 20 of those things and only got 3 meats. So when I say grindy, I mean grindy. Yeah, it definitely needs an auto pickup. I'm not sure if it has one. There's not much settings at all here, is there? Movement, dash. Now if I find Q, which is there, and then we can just switch it to the mouse, that works lovely. Happy days. And then, of course, if you wanted to change your inventory from a stupid button of B, where is it? B. That's right at the top. Yeah, if you want to change your backpack from B, you can also put that on your mouse. But unfortunately, that just goes back to B for some reason. Not sure why. Leave it be. Yeah, there's no quick pickup, which kind of sucks. So that is something I definitely want to see on the full release, is a way just to run over this gold and pick it up automatically. Just like certain items, you know, like health potions, gold, the meats, you know, anything that's just bare basic that you're going to want all the time, just pick it up automatically. There's too many clicks. Okay, we've got a raw meat there. You can see here, that was like 4 clicks to make sure I interacted with an item and picked the gold up. Just too much clicking. Doesn't need to be like that. If everything just sucked into the player, you know, everything just literally comes to us as we walk past it or through it. Okay, I'm kind of trapping myself here between a rock and a hard spot. I might be able to bottleneck him on the side of this table. They take their look. They're going to wait their turn. Old school. The good thing is you can take your hands off now and just chill while you're in battle. Now I need to get these guys to follow me one at a time. Okay, that'll do us. So you can cheese the AI, which is good. They'll only attack once they get to you, and using a table or an object creeps them out. Cheesed it. I do like that. You can click anywhere on the screen at any enemy and your character will run over and start getting involved. Okay, we've got the hide. Happy days. If you want the game louder, let me know. There's not much happening, of course. There's very little music at all. Which I actually respect, because it does build a little bit more of an atmos. Okay, we've got the raw meats, we've got hides. Let's search this. See, I don't even know if that dropped anything, because you can't actually see. I think it was empty. Nothing in the pot there. I love the way they just line up and come to me. How many meats is that now? 8. We need 2 more. See, what Unreal 5 does really well is environments, the rocks, the grass, the trees. They do handle that really well. And again, water, you know, water effects, weather effects. I was excited to see someone was live streaming Dead by the Disco, but not this. Cry. We're doing it next. It's the next one on the list. We're doing a bunch of NextFest games. So bear with, we're running through them. You've actually come in at a good time. We've probably got about another 10 minutes of this game, and then we're going to be switching over. I'm just doing like quick fire reviews, if you know what I mean. So the disco one is the main feature. So I thought I'd keep it till last. Appreciate you coming in, bro. Have you already played the game? No spoilers, but is it good? Okay, let's jump into Nya. Need 2 more meats. It should be the main feature. It is the main feature. It's just not the main feature now. It's at the end. Keep the best till last, baby. All right, there we go. Let's check it. Yeah, I got my 10 meats. So I'm going to take my 10 meats back, see what we get for that reward. I mean, I would fight these because XP is always a bonus. We're actually level 4 right now. Damn, I've pulled the entire map. I've pulled the entire map. I'm going to take them on because I can always retreat. It's all about the gains. Do you know what? As you level up, you get more meats. It's really weird. They're being very generous with the meats now. When I was level 1, level 2, they were very stingy. Maybe because I can like 2-shot them pretty much. Get wrecked. Okay, I feel OP now. This area is beneath me. Another thing that feels a bit strange with this one is not being able to rotate the camera. I'm stuck in this camera view at all times. Not being able to rotate the camera feels a little bit too static for me. It's old school, right? It's going for an old school vibe, and damn sure does it hit it. Okay, that will do. Let's go and hand in our meatage. So, do you know what? That came perfect. I was just about to say something along them lines. Love a good meat. That's it. We all love a good meat. I had steak the other day. I was well chuffed with that. I don't know Japanese, by the way. Prize shop. So he'll reward us for deer. He'll reward us for fur. Like, I have these. Okay, deal. And then we get to go back and talk to the board, which is, I think, a job board. Refresh for 200 gold. Oh. So these are your rinse and repeat quests here. You can do these all the time, over and over again. Basically just kill everything on the screen. We're talking wolves, we're talking orcs, all that good stuff. So if I take this job, I don't know how many we can take. Maybe take 3 or 4. If we take them all, that's mental. Okay, you can take them all for 200 and you can refresh and probably take a bunch more. So there's a bunch of tasks now we've got to do. That's going to level you up like a beast because they come with gold and they come with XP, which is really awesome. You've got the higher tier ones, you've got low tier, you've got your main quests. They're called bounties, those ones. So it's basically a pin board, which is in most games. I like Aeon's pin board from back in the day. There we go. So he's going to give us 500 XPs. And all we have to do is target the traitor. So that's nice. I like the menus that pop out as well. This game has a lot of redeeming qualities. And if you guys want to see a full playthrough of this demo, because obviously this demo is about an hour and something long, I've seen enough to do my final thoughts, so I think we're going to do that. Let's go back to menu, and then we can get our disco game on. I think there might be one before, I'm not sure, but I'm going to do disco first. It doesn't look like, that doesn't look like Japanese. Maybe I'm just washed with my language skills. I don't know. This text here looks Japanese to me, but again, you know about as much as me. So, Ruins of Dawn. What do you think of Ruins of Dawn? I think it's actually a really solid game. It gives me so much retro vibes to things like Dungeon Siege and again Diablo, definitely with the animations. I vibe with it. I think it's a good game. It's something I would definitely play on my channel. It's obviously got some really sort of it lacks in translation. It's got some really bad text here and there in English, and overall, although I didn't mention it because it is only in demo phase, the game is not released yet. If you go wishlist it and follow it, you can keep an eye on it for its release date, which it hasn't been set yet, but I think they're on the right track. I think with a little bit more sharpening to the textures, we need to be able to control the sharpening in this game. Everything else is okay. I think I would like to be able to run over the items and just automatically pick them up, because I feel like the way they're doing it is such an old way of doing it. Like, we've left that because it's broken and not good. We've moved on since them days. So if we can do like a retro vibe with a modern style and lean into some of them modern quality of life things, I think this game's going to bang. So for me, I feel like it's got something. I can't score it because the game's not out, but what I will say is it's sitting around the 3.5-esque era. I think when it comes out, it might be more of a 4, but we will see, and I am looking forward to this one. So thank you for your time. Your time is valuable. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for spending it with us, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye bye. There you go. So now what I do is cut the video, because that is like part 2, and we did have 3 or 4 to do, so we'll do that there. We'll hit this, bring up Steam. Here we go. I'm tired already. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've got 1 more to do, but I can save it till last. If you want me to do disco as you're hanging on, I will do disco. The next one's Lootbound, which is a brand new demo, and they actually sent it out personally, so I want to do that one probably last. We'll do disco for an hour. I believe it's Chinese. You're probably correct. I would say you're more correct than I am. I'm guessing. All right, you say this game's awesome. It looks awesome. I'm going to go with the fact it's probably awesome. I want to... Now, what's this? Please hide licensed music. Oh, that's handy. It's got vibes. It's got the vibes. Okay, it's not going to have licensed music, so we can probably do 70%. Mute all audio in background, streamer safe on. That's good, it comes with that. Okay, let's have a look at the visuals. Windowed full screen's okay. We need vertical sync on, so you can't seem to do it if it's in windowed. That's weird. We have to go full screen. Optimized for a handheld. It's got optimized for a handheld. That's well good. Very high. Let's just go up with these. No, Lumen sucks. SSGI, global high, shadows on. That's it. There's really no settings to this game, which I'm not mad about. Leave that as it is. I don't want to go into all of that, and hopefully it plays well with a mouse and keyboard, because that's all I have. Get in the game. Right, I think we're good to go. We are ready, my friends and famalams. Let's jump in. Right, guys, thank you for joining me today. Today we are checking out Dead as Disco. I've been looking forward to this one, but this is the 3rd in the NextFest Got Left Out series. And yeah, it's one I wanted to cover during the NextFest series, but never got the chance to do. So it was on the bucket list, but it didn't quite make the cut. So now we're jumping in. Dead as Disco. We've got the chat already telling me that the game is awesome and I should be playing it. So that is what I'm now doing. If you have watched the previous 2 NextFest videos, I'd greatly appreciate you following through on the 3rd triathlon. And we've actually got one left after this as well. So a little surprise for you there. Dead as Disco. I keep saying Dead by Disco. It's such a better title. Dead as Disco is a martial arts meets music video in Dead as Disco. Okay, really cool. It's neon drenched beat 'em up where every punch, kick, and combo syncs to the music. What? As Charlie Disco on a quest to confront the villainous idols and reunite the band. I mean, yeah, overwhelmingly positive. Over nearly 4,000 people, can't be wrong. It's by Brain Jar Games, which I fully respect. The demo is available now. Go check it out for yourself, and it's a $20 price tag. The game is released, so we will be scoring it today and rating it. It's a single player, Xbox controller, PlayStation controller, obviously works on Linux and the deck. It has deck support in the settings, which is one of the first times I've ever seen that. And from the looks of it, everybody's vibing with the vibe of Dead as Disco. So really, really cool to see that. Let's just jump in. Right, okay, so we've got multiplayer settings, credits. I guess I just do multiplayer, right? Can I not just do... new games at the top. I'm blind. I need to go get my eyes tested. I need to do that. I'm literally blind. The game allows you to put your own music in as well. That's really good. Okay, I'm already getting vibes from other games. What the hell? I'm thinking the madness of the Yakuza series, but I'm also thinking that series that was on the Wii.
Hell of a gig, because I don't remember a thing.
Well, let's hope you still have some muscle memory.
Wait, what?
Okay, I've just got to pause a minute. This is what let it what was it called? Let It Die? I think it was called Let It Die, which was an online dungeon crawlers, esque game set with a Japanese theme, and it had death as your partner, as in the skeleton. This game should have been what Let It Die missed out on. This what Let It Die should have been, right? It should have been edgy and cool and stylized, and it didn't have any of that, and the game kind of just faded away after most people had played it. This game seems like it picks up where that one leaves off. Now there is a Wii series that I need to find the title for, because off the top of my nut I can't remember what it was called. I won't be playing this. You don't like the sound of it? Why is that? Let's try Wii. I know what it was. Every something hero. Every something hero. Heroes. Type Wii. Everybody's Hero. I think it was called something like this. I might be mistaken. I'm looking for just a hint on Google. I'm sure it was called that. Everybody's Hero. How is it not? There it is. There it is. No More Heroes. Wow. Okay, my memory sucks. That was as close as I could get. Right, so it's basically Let It Die mixed with No More Heroes. I think that's what they've gone with the vibe. They've mushed it up, and if they had a baby, this would be what had popped out. So we've got finisher on E. Takedown. Okay, nice. Right, what's that? Drumstick toss. Reload, that is. Attack and counter. Oh, that's going to be awesome. Attack and counter on my buttons. I'm going to go with mouse and keyboard today, but obviously this game is best played with a controller, no doubt.
This has not those famous reflexes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, why else would you be talking to a floating skull?
So I'm
I've been
dead.
to some wild parties, man.
Wow, okay. This is fluid. I really want to do a finisher. I've got to do a finisher now. Counter into a finisher. Come on, bro. Okay, I think it wants me to attack them.
But maybe one too many, yeah? Charlie Disco. You done it well, too.
I've got to get out of this tutorial because it's so dry bread. Attack me. I want to do a counter and then do a finisher. I think that's kind of false. It's amazing on both mouse and keyboard and controller. You think? I'm having a good time with the mouse and keyboard. I'm not disrespecting the mouse and keyboard game, but I would personally like to play it on a controller on a couch, of course. There's finisher.
Oh, yeah. Now they are mega items.
What? We got the Tai Chi finisher. Okay, I'm yet to see the difficulty of the game. It seems really easy. And it's like a really Japanorama version, as in Asian version, of something like Batman Arkham Asylum. Super quick. Love the counters. Moves are great. I'm not sure about his fighting style. It's really weird. He kind of bitch slaps him and then kicks him in the kneecap. There is a couple of punches thrown in there, though. I love the fact you can beat them to the beat of the music. I've got a smile on my face. That's all I'm going to say about this. Nunchuckers!
No.
That's
They
ridiculous.
would never do that.
You can charge attacks. Big kick. Can we go off the wall? I'm thinking to roundhouse them, they bounce off the wall. You can. Yeah. Flip move. Oosh. I've got to knock someone off the wall into a finisher. Vibes. In your face, big disgrace. Oh, I needed one more hit. I almost had it. Sheesh. I'm sure these things are going to build up, right? I'm not going to be able to do these all the time. Like if I clop him off a wall. There we go. Flat. Straight into F. In the air. This is impressive. Just on a mechanical level. I can just defeat him now? Sweet. Yeah. You do get into the beat of the song. There is nothing to say about that tutorial other than it's godlike. That is godlike, it's fluid, it's awesome, it plays so well.
Oof. Am I missing anything?
Oh, yeah, just a proper introduction.
Not sure about this Muppet. You're the drummer of a band and you use drumsticks. Oh, they're not nunchucks. Okay, but he was kind of doing the nunchuck vibes with it. That was really cool.
No. You.
You can see my confusion. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3 different... Oh, no, we can go to these as well. So they're under construction. So let's just go Encore. This is the sort of game I talk about. This is the sort of game when you've done a hard day's work, you come in, you sit on the couch, you put your feet up, get yourself a drink, maybe some nibbles, and you just want to play like an hour of something that doesn't hold you back, doesn't slow you down, gives you pure vibes, gives you pure happiness, and when you come away, you feel like you've progressed, you've done something, and now you've got to go have a bath, get ready for bed, you know, all of that stuff. You fit it into your day. Games like this will never fail to sell, will never fail to get positive reviews, because they just serve a very simple purpose, and that is to give you a fun experience for 10 minutes or an hour in between your daily life. And for me, it's just hitting all of that mark.
Oh, this is
How far can the demo go? I'm curious how big this demo is. Voice acting's on point. Hemlock story level is the demo. That's what sold me. Okay, let's see. Let's see if you can achieve the same with me, because I'm very critical. But so far, so good. Bubs don't like it? Why don't you like it, Bubs? Whoa, counter, look. Blah, 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 blah. Finish. Oh, you want a counter too? Bring it. Go for the big hit. It is exactly like Batman, but way quicker. Not that it's better than Batman, just different. Where did he come from? Okay, sick beats. So am I like a K-pop dude or something? Is that what my band is? Like Japanese rock or something? That is sick. You missed. Oh man, I was adjusting myself. If you're in a finisher, they can't touch you. But you get a little breather there. You've also got dodge move. I find that with a controller, I wouldn't have fouled. What it is when I play with the mouse and keyboard, being able to turn back around. So there was a guy waiting to do a finisher behind me. He was just stunned. But I was attacking this guy here, and I could have just gone to him. Very easy with a controller. But with the mouse and keyboard, I feel like once you're attacking someone, you've almost locked into that person. You have to stop your combo to then turn around with the keys, because they're button presses and not a sort of fluid thumbstick. So I don't know if that comes across when I say it like that, but it does seem a little bit off. Like I would rather be playing this with a controller for sure. It doesn't feel as fluid, but that's just, you know, I don't have it hooked up. We will digress and get through it. I'm going to keep that heart there for when I need it. Bitch slap, headbutt. What I like is all of these enemies are around the right size for my character. For my character is a skinny little dude, and these enemies are not tough at all. They're not big burly men who we just wouldn't touch if we smack them. We're in the realms of reality still here, and that works for me. I dodged that, but I dodged in the wrong direction. Aye, okay, your health goes down. It is challenging. Third time lucky. Your band is very diverse. No, you missed the cool part. What's the cool part? When you say diverse, what are we talking here? Are we talking nonsense? Oosh. That word is like the F word nowadays. The guards that show up? Okay. Well, I mean, he doesn't seem that big, right? This guy here. This Yobbo. A little bit late on the uptake there. That put a smile on my face. That was awesome. Okay, got it. Not today, baby. There's so many. How am I supposed to juggle all of these? It's just so many enemies, and I don't think on a mouse and keyboard I'm actually capable of doing it. It's a hard one. I don't think the mouse and keyboard, like you said, they're all awesome. They are kind of, but I feel like a disadvantage right now. This is fourth time right now. I'm going to have myself a powerful energy drink before I jump in. All the band members are different genres. That's a weird one. So you've got like one rock dude, one rap dude, one, what, like dubstep bass, drum and bass. Is that sort of the way they're going? The thing is, you think you always have to face the enemies with counters and stuff. You don't. Just click key. It shows. So just go for the actual like Dance Revolution style. Click what's in front of your face. I mean, I still did all right. I'm like 25,000th in the world, and I died. That's something. Come on, bitches. I do like hitting the buttons when, you know, on key, if you know what I mean. Oh, I'm not going to take one hit this time. That's a bold statement. I've gone into Batman mode. So far, so good. Okay, we're going in. I only actually took a hit yet. I've gone super dapper Don mode. Right, here we go. We're goating it. We're goating it. Bish, he gets me every time. He broke my flow. I was on it now. Flat, take it down. See, there's so many that come in, look, all different button sets. We're holding it down, we're holding it down. This is addictive as hell. I can't explain it until you play it either. Here we go. Got him in the air. Yeah. Flat, yeah. Yeesh. Yeah, let's get some hearts. For the love of the Jesus right now. Thought I got hit, but I didn't. Caught squeeze. Oh! I zigged when I should have zagged. And my concentration is through the roof with this game. Nice. Okay, so from here I can get full marks all the way through. Just a great camera angle. Got that final fight vibe happening. Okay, not one hit taken now. I'll be in the chat in 2 seconds. This game takes all of your concentration. Oh damn, got shielders. I can't believe how thick and fast this game is. It goes in, out, shake all about. This game is beautiful and fun. It's pretty fun. Oh, I made it. I made it with mouse and keyboard. Again, not my preferred way of playing this game at all, but I respect it. That was really engaging. I think the gameplay locks you in. So despite what the rest of the game has to offer, just on a demo, I can obviously score it. The game is out and the gameplay loop will be the same, but it will just get thicker, faster, and more mad. Now, the story itself, you know, I like to play these games fully before I give them my final marks. But from a first impression, I think you're right. I think it's an easy 4 out of 5 because it has everything, visuals, sound effects. I mean, that is through the roof on this game. The actual mechanics of the fighting is really well done. It's like Batman, but has that fluid flow. They turn the dial up. It's almost like an 8 out of 10 on the dial. And it's like when Batman really is flowing and you really get it, it sort of sticks. Do you know what I mean? So I think they've done a good job there. Now, again, I can't comment on the story. I can't comment on the vibes of the game. And I can't comment on the other stages. But from what I've seen here, it's got all of the classic tropes. We even had a final fight stage in the train. So it's sort of leaning into that retro vibe. And I like that. It has a lot going for it. I'd like to play more before I make my final judgment. But for me, 4 out of 5, I think for a demo, this demo kills it. This demo is definitely the reason that they're getting sales, and it's definitely the reason that this game has popped off on social media. I wish it all the best. I wish the devs all the best, and I do want to play the full release at some point, so hopefully devs can hit me up with a full copy, and I will definitely jump in and do a full review. That being said, I want to thank all of you for your time. Thank you for joining me. You've all been awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. It leaves you wanting more because it stops right before the boss. It did. It teased it. It gave me a little squidgy tease, and then I want more. But unfortunately, I don't have the full game, which is a shame. I don't know if any other streamers are out there doing it that you can go jump into, but for me, I mean, it's just a solid game. There is no return from here, I can see. So I have to like right click the game and kill it in Steam, which is weird. I can't seem to, like, I've got stage select. Maybe I'll go back there and then hit escape. Yeah, there you go. And then do that. So you can get out of it. Yeah, that was a good one. I really enjoyed that. So it's very positive reviews, over 3,000 people. Let's have a look at the negative and see what people have been saying against it. Unable to get past the benchmark. Well, that's a personal issue, bro. That's not really a... I don't know why people would downgrade the game. Like, it's not the game's fault that your shit don't work, is it? So I'm not really sure that's a valid point. There's very little negative, to be honest. I can click him and then go to negative. There's not many negative. It's fine. It's just very coasting easily there. So we're going to do the lootbound demo, which is a different vibe, of course. But if you want to stick around for that, then awesome. I appreciate ya. You can check us out on YouTube. That video will be out within the next, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks, because I will have the full game by the time that drops, and then we'll play the full game as well. It's not overly expensive. $20. I think that's a fair price for what I just played. Okay, settings, video. We're good. Audio, just pop the music down, bring the ambient down a bit. And that's about it. 2D's all good. Okay, cool. I just need to restart my recording. I appreciate your help with the comments there as well. That was really awesome. Bubs, you didn't explain why you didn't like it. You just sort of give it a stinker. Is it because you didn't like the colours, the vibes? Was it too pink for you? I mean, what was going on? You're never going to make anything that sort of everybody appeals. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to appeal to everybody. Even I don't appeal to everybody. Like, I know that there's people out there that absolutely hate my face. Then there's people out there that absolutely vibe with the way we do stuff. I just try and bring honesty, and we just try and do reviews in quick, you know, snippets. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, you're not going to impress everyone, so don't try. And I think that game was very unapologetic about what it was trying to do. It just, you know, hit us with some hardcore gameplay and said, there you go, what do you think? I think that's fine. I don't think that was a bad deal. Right. Right. Okay, guys, thank you for joining me for the final of the NextFest bucket list left out. Well, it's not left out. It's sort of late to hidden gems. Today we found 3 gems. They're all got their own. They're all what's the word I'm looking for? They all have their good and bad points, and I think we've done very well to discover some new games that we will be playing in the future. Lootbound is the last on the list. Now, this was sent out by the devs. I do have the full game, but I'm going to be playing the demo just because the full game doesn't activate until the game actually releases next week. So I might do a follow-up depending on how I find the game today. It's a free demo right now, so you can go check it out for yourselves. Don't take my word for it. Go check it out. Lootbound is a tactical loot management roguelike. Start solo, build up your party the way that you like, and then join rogue-like risks and rewards system, which I always say that is definitely a catchphrase of mine now. Equip heroes and companions, heroes and companions, and craft and build and face final boss shaped by your choices. Turn-based strategy elements with fair difficulty. So, I mean, it's a very long-winded intro, that, to be honest. They could have summed that up in 2 lines, but it's a very positive reviews, nearly 1,000 people. It's by Art Doc Studios. Like I say, demo available. It releases on July 31st, so end of the month. Single player, and that's about it. It doesn't have any deck support, no Steam or Steam Deck or Linux, because it's just too new. That's about it, all I want to say about it. So I want to thank the devs for sending out the game. Greatly appreciate that, and when it releases I will probably do a follow-up as well. That being said, let's just jump in. Right, so we've done the settings. We'll hit play. We'll go to middle save. See what it has to offer. Now, this is a very chilled, laid-back game, so I'm looking forward to the artwork. It's very much retro in a modern-day style, which I always vibe with. It has like a D&D theme, if you like. It has a roguelike gameplay style. Run start. Welcome to Lootbound. On the screen, you can choose the hero you wish. Okay, cool. So it's like character select. I wouldn't have bothered with that message. Personally, if I designed this game, I would have rather seen the animation of him starting up than I would have read that, because obviously we're on a character select screen right now, right? You could have just like highlighted the difficulty over here to which one we want to pick, or highlighted the class over here. Like, you don't need to do that. So we've got 4 slots available, 3 are locked. Obviously it's the demo, but we can just start with the base character. I compete with my friends in Infinite Disco Friend Score leaderboards. So you do the leaderboards. Yeah, that sounds about right. No worries. I love the game. So is the story actually got anything to offer? Like, the story's like really cool, and then what happens at the end of the story? It's just leaderboards. There's no like replayability. There's no way to get like the same game but with more loot, or there's, you know, different outfits, or, you know, anything to get you playing again at end game, because I'm assuming you finished it by the sound of it. It leaves you wanting more. Yeah, it does. Bob's just not impressed. I love the way you didn't even like give me a reason. I have to remember me. Help me. Okay, good. Story. Ah, there we go. All right, Wildlands is the first place. So he moves when we click the orb. Okay, so we have a path to follow. We've got enemies, elite enemies, consumables, chest. That's cool. Okay, I'm already getting, oh, what's that game called? Loot something. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Let me go on Steam. Let's go to my channel and do MMO Shanuz, and we'll go with loot, because I can't remember the name of the full title. Something loot, I know it was. Got to search my particular channel. Rogue Loops, that was it. Right, okay, so I'm getting Rogue Loop vibes from the actual navigation in this game. You kind of just pick your path, pick which way you want to go, but it doesn't have as many branching paths starting out, so hopefully we get those later. It does run like a D&D, but has that roguelike element, so you're not going to be as strong as you are, like, let's say, later on in the game, but also the choices you make are going to make a massive difference to what happens in the game. Okay, let's go with 1, which is attack. Slash. And he's attack back. Basic stuff. Go for attack 2. That's a buff. So now when we hit him, we do double damage. 80% damage right there. Now the inventory just looks like you can drag and drop, and if you move it outside of the box, it will actually destroy the item. Pretty simple stuff. So you can see here we've got sword, we've got broken armor, so this all needs an upgrade. I like the layout of this game. I really do like the layout so far. The artwork's pretty slick. What does it want me to do though? It's put me in here for some reason. Oh. Take my horn. Put it into equipment. Okay. Move on. I think that was the enemy's loot and we was to take something from him. But it didn't explain that very well there. So for all of these screens that are really annoying, they don't explain stuff very well. Like this, look, loot. So it wants me to take it, put it in my inventory. Like this. And then we can move on. Not a great way of doing it, to be honest. Okay, this guy looks pretty sick. One-shotted, not sick at all. And we can take his sword. You only get to take 1 item from him, which is a little bit weird. Abilities. Some abilities can apply buffs and debuffs, of course. Basic stuff right here is telling us. Now we get the roguelike elements. So we've got hack and slash, or we've got Thornblade. Thornblade targets 1 enemy and does 8 mana to use it. I'm going to go with that. Moving on up. Now, I would imagine that this tutorial is going to play out the same for absolutely everybody. So possibly, you know, you're going to get the Thorn Blade the same time as me, right? So I'm kind of spoiling the tutorial for you, which I apologize for. But it is the best way to learn a game. Unfortunately, this game didn't take any learning, really. I could have worked this out by myself. So he's got a little hammer and he's got a axe. Let me take the little axe, pop that there. Away we go. Very simple gameplay. There we go. So now we have the dice, which is going to give us either chaos. What is that? They're all 3 different types of chaos. Chaos, order, or vampirism. I like vampirism, if that is stealing health from the enemy. Again, the animations are on point. I love the art style of this game. Then we can go up to the health. We've got some crazy tree huggers. Unwielding. So we've got the Bard and the Witch. We get the Hand of Pain, or we get the Sword of... Okay, let's see what they do. Attack the target with the lowest health, or attacks the target with the lowest health, but reduces the target fortitude. I don't know if I want any of those. They both suck. So I'm going to go with the first one. This game suffers from that age-old problem that I keep saying. They love their game. They've put too much time and effort into it. And now it's becoming a little bit kind of pompous. It seems a little bit annoying. The pop-ups don't need to be there. You're telling me really basic shit that most people would know who are going to buy your game anyway. And those who are interested in your game would already be versed in roguelikes and RPGs. So explaining the basics in the tutorial is kind of necessary. And I can see why they've done it, but I would cut it hard. Like, let the player skip the tutorial for sure. It's just annoying. And some of the buffs are really boring, like, already. So I don't know what this game's going to have to offer later. But at the minute, most of the buffs are very generic, very basic, and don't really do much. I would prefer to get weapons and armor drops than I would any of those buffs and debuffs. But then we are early in the game, so I'm just noting that as something that I'm feeling when I'm playing. So this lever is useless to us because it gives us minus, but the hammer is not. So I'm going to take the hammer, pop that into there, and move up. Now we are getting multiple paths opening up even on the tutorial, so that's a good sign. I'm going to take the ba-bomb. We're going to put that into our inventory. Okay, they are definitely fire grenades them dudes are carrying. We'll end them quick. So the buff that we took is actually a secondary character that does some sort of effect and damage. He gives an increase of critical damage by 80, so he's actually really worth having, even though he was very boring in his write-up. So he's actually more powerful and a good ally than what they made out, which is weird. They undersold him. They should have sold him as what he does, which is massive critical buff. This guy's got the neck of Jesus. Right, we're going to go for the vampirism. Difficulty is a 9. This is very random. Like, I don't like not being in control of my own dice. It feels like you could be cheated. Like, they could just give you a 1 every time. You get an extra roll ×2, but I'm assuming we want to save that for later. Unless there's something you really, really want. Big PB game? I'm trying. The challenges is how you unlock more music in the jukebox. Well, that sounds like it sucks. You are encouraged to play challenges and reach 5 stars on the stories. Yeah, I mean, again, replayability is just maxing out your levels and then hitting the leaderboards. That's not something I probably would do personally. I would just rather play a really awesome story and have a really great time, and then I would just hang the game up. I wouldn't go back and try and, like, you know, wax out leaderboards and all that stuff. To me, that's a waste of time. So that's not a selling point to me, but I can see why people would want to do that. See, when I was young, I would buy like 2, maybe 3 games a year tops. And they had to be special. They had to be, you know, right. They had to tick all the boxes because you didn't get another chance. So I'm very picky about what I would spend time in. And unless a game has some real replayability, I would dock it a point. I would definitely dock it a point for the reasons you say the game has to replay it. I don't care about the jukebox. I wouldn't want to replay it for a 5-star. Maybe, possibly, that's the only one I would. And I damn sure wouldn't do leaderboards. So for me, the replayability just wouldn't be there. So that would be docked a point, which would then bring that game down to a 3 out of 5. But then I would give it 3.5 because I could see why people want to do it. I personally probably wouldn't want to do that. But yeah, it's still a positive review. It would just be in stars. I would bring it down. Okay, this has 8 slash. This has minus 80 on the armor, but does 48 slash. So maybe that's better to switch these two out. Yeah, now I do 208, but I'm weaker. But they don't hit me that much, so it is what it is. Again, risk and reward is coming out in this game. Let's take another grenade. And let's see if we put that in the blue, whether we can actually... consumable. Can we stack them? See, you missed trick. Why can't you stack items? They're exactly the same item. They should stack. And then as I use them, you just count down the number. That's a very strange decision. Very strange. I picked a scythe, or whatever this is, because... Is it called a sickle? A sickle. Because it's blue. Let's put these here. I like the Tetris style things they're giving us. Okay, now our defense has gone up. So we took a hit on defense for our weapon swap, but now I've used the helm. The actual armor's gone back up again. I love a good stack. That's it. I love good inventory management, and I love it. Don't try and limit my inventory. You know, I hate that in games. But yeah, let's chuck a grenade and see what happens. Basically the same as an attack. That's a mistrick. Where's the animations for that? You put all this effort into animations, and you're not using them. That grenade should have gone bomb, 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 ripple effect. And it didn't do anything. Bros. They've took all this time on these like fancy animations, but it is very safe. Like, I would have got ham with the animations. It's 2D. You have no limits. You can do anything. All that it's going to cost you is time. 10 on crush. I don't really want any of these, but I'm guessing we sell them or possibly trade them in at the end. What I also love in the game is how it has many different play styles. You find skills you want to use. Oh, but that's cool. I mean, if you've got buffs and debuffs and you've got different outfits, maybe different powers, maybe instead of using the chopsticks, you can use something else. You know, that's a good selling point for me. I like to customize my character and have a range of stuff. But yeah, again, if it's just leaderboards, like I was never a completionist back in the day. I played the game, I finished the game, I go through the story, something like Metal Gear Solid, right? Complete story. I've seen the story. If there's like you know, I have to put in like another couple playthroughs just to see a hidden ending, F that hidden ending. I'm not bothered. I can YouTube it. I'm just and I wouldn't even do that. I always feel like if you're gonna hide stuff in a game or pad it out with pointless effort, then it's a waste of the gamer's time, because most gamers won't ever want to see it. And you can check it by looking at the achievements, how many people found that achievement or gained that achievement for the effort they had to put in. And you'll find that 90% of people do not even bother to try for hard achievements or longevity achievements. They get bored after the game's finished. So replayability is good, but in that game I would have seen it as, if I replay it, it's mix up on the enemies, mix up on the items I'm getting, a customization on the character, and maybe the songs are thrown in like one every playthrough. So every time you play through it, you get like 1 or 2 songs hidden in the stage that you have to unlock via chests or something, you know, or don't take any damage on a certain stage to get that song, rather than just have like a jukebox that kind of meh, you know, it's just meh choice. But again, I haven't played the full version, so I'm not judging until I do. But there are some sort of angles I would be coming in from. The game's good, don't get me wrong. The game is good. I enjoyed the gameplay. I just don't think it's going to hold a lot after I've played through it. So playing through it's, you know, good for me. But whether I enjoy it after that is probably... I probably won't go back and, you know, look at it again, if you know what I mean. I think that will be done for me. What we got here? The warriors rest at the campfire to heal 1. Well, I'm going to heal myself because I don't like this little dude anyway. He kind of sucks. He's got a good buff, but he's a sucky character design. You have to complete their challenges for you to unlock the jukebox. It has star requirements to reach. Some of you have to unlock during... Yeah. Oh, side missions. See, there, now you're talking my language. You've got main missions, you've got side missions, you've got boss battles, I'm assuming. You know, if there's like a boss marathon where you do all the bosses back to back and then you get something special at the end, you know, that shit matters. I can do that stuff. It's just, I'm not a leaderboard type of guy. You know, I'm not competing for people to recognize that I took one game out of my 1300 library and got leaderboard on it. Like, F that noise. I'd rather be playing one of the 1300 games than trying to beat someone, you know, who has no life. I'm just not doing that. It doesn't only go into your jukebox, you can listen to it, and it goes into your bar as a physical item. It goes into your bar. What, you mean like a special move? Like something you can use against the enemy? Or do you mean I can just like rock that tune outside the game? Because that sucks. Some decorations are also locked behind requirements using certain skills, certain times, reaching certain levels. I like that. I've never been behind, you know, I've never been behind the curve with that. I've always kept up with people. If there's a bunch of items in a certain game, like if I played Elden Rings, for instance, which I do have planned at some point, I would probably be on par with everybody else at the stage they were at that stage. So although I played the game late, I will be on par with them. Boom, massive armor. Hell yeah. I didn't think I'd like that system, the Tetris blocks and the way they fit together and the way you can only take one item from each battle, but I like it. It does actually work. And again here, you need to stack items. This cannot be just one per block, especially when you're doing this Tetris nonsense. You need to give the player some way to stack items on top of each other that are similar. Not weapons, but, you know, consumables at least. So I can take this and put that in there. Now I've got a grenade. Grenade, it's a bomb. I've got a bomb and health potion now, which could come in handy as I've took a little bit of damage there. Let's go with this. Nice, it gave me almost a full bar. And we've got the bomb, which doesn't unfortunately do a lot. Wow, they're all just attacking me. This could be game. This could be game over. Okay, we can one-shot the little guy. He actually heals me, so I'm not mad at his character design because he's so useful. Yeah, he's very useful. He's a rubbish design, but he's useful. Black. Okay, wizard's hat. Well, that's not going to be for me. That's going to be for this guy, and we all know why. So he can have that. He's not going to want the sword. So maybe you want the health potion. Oh, we can't have it. Okay, that's fair. So we'll take that this time. We'll move up. Blacksmithery. I've pretty much taken these. I mean, I can just keep taking them. They go up in stats if we unlock it. 12's ridiculous. But we get it anyway. 16. Each item is limited to a number of slots on the crystals. So they're basically like runes or buffs. So we can just grab it and pop it into here. And then it attaches to the weapon, which is fair. Got to break their armor before you can do damage. And if they attack me, I'm in trouble. It doesn't only go into your jukebox, you can listen to it. It goes into the bar as a physical item. Some decorations are also locked behind. Oh, we did that one. the hub area you can't see in the demo. It's your bar that, oh, like a bar as in a physical bar, like somewhere you go for a drink. You have to buy items and upgrade. That's cool. I think that should have been in the demo, and I think it should allow you to buy like maybe just 1 or 2 items just to give you a reason to sort of play the demo a little bit longer. What I will do is I'm going to do, at the end of this, I'm going to do all the games we played today, the ones that are released. I'm going to go in and see how many players are in that game right now, because I'm curious to see how many of those reviews are actually live right now in the game. It makes a big difference. If you've got a decent player base, then you know the game's going to pop off. I'm always there at the curve as well. I always try and make the content early enough so that when I bring it out, everybody else is cottoning on, you know, like the general player. We got defeated, so we didn't make it all the way through, but it was just a tutorial. Now, our room duration was 20 minutes almost, and we ended up with memory shards of 100. Now, we keep those, which is really cool. We got a new room, which is the barracks unlocked, and that was just a tutorial. So I don't think it mattered that we got oof there, because we can now move on to the barracks. And you can see here, you can actually upgrade your stuff via those, what are they? Does it say what they are? Shards. So as you upgrade through shards, you can upgrade your fawns, your slash damage, your initiative, your order, and your critical chance. Now, to me, I just want slash damage, critical chance, and maybe fawns, because fawns increases the character's fawns, as in the deal reflected damage back to the enemy. So that's pretty cool, right? It's like touching me and I got fawns on me, sort of thing. So that's a good buff, but they're all very expensive. You're gonna have to play this game like 3 times through each stage at least to get everything unlocked, which is all right, I suppose. Now, I'm thinking it'd be nice to see the other characters, but you can't actually bring any other. You can only play as the warrior. All right, let's go round 2. Buff myself, and then we should be able to one-shot him. There we go. So now we've got the mage outfit, which we don't want, so we're just going to put that there. Don't know why a warrior would rock a mage, you know, unless he's going to be a necromancer. That could work. I'm not going to bother with a buff, actually. I'm just going to attack. Happy days. I love that fact you have to break their armor before you do any real damage. It's a nice little touch. Blacksmithery. What's this one here? Ooh, this is new. So slash damage plus 50. Yes, please. Come on, baby. 16. 17er. We've gone up to 200 now. We're already rocking this one. See, we didn't get that many nice buffs at the beginning of the last game because it was the tutorial. That's being a lot more generous. Happy days. One shot in everything in sight. We've got some pilgrim stuff. Let's go with the hammer. Let's give me a little defense buff as well as an attack buff. Ooh, treasure. Aha. What's in the box? Oh, helm. All day long. It's only a 3 and it's defense. Nice. Sprinkles and sparkles, baby. There you go. So now we're nearly 1,000 on defense. That is ridiculous. We didn't even hit that in the whole entire playthrough we just did. Didn't get anywhere close. I think it was like 800. So now we can have a paladin. I'm going with that. He does restore health. Big chunk of monka. Look at him. Coming like Lurch. You rang. Poke him. Oh, he dodged it. That's filth. Bring it, baby. He only does 50 damage to him. He's such a tank. Right, okay. So we'll take another helm, I think. And we're going to give that to this guy. Already buffing him. Already, but can he have this as well? Doesn't do anything, see? It's kind of pointless. Gives him 10 on mana. Pointless. The guy uses a hammer. Okay, a little bit of story there. Warriors must rest health. This is way too soon for me. I've taken no damage. I really vibe with it. Do you know what this would be good for if you had a Steam Deck and using the touchscreen? This would be really good. Because all you have to do is tap something, tap the enemy, done. Tap your health, you know, tap your character, done. It's very simple to play. And the artwork's really nice. Is it perfect? By no means, of course not. But it's got some good ideas here. That's the kind of thing about games that's beautiful. You either like it or you don't. I use my friends as an improvement point instead of just improving my own scores blindly. Yeah, I mean, that's something if you're going against your friends. Again, if you're a social player, a lot of games have different meanings to you. You know, something like Rust is really good as a single player or a social experiment. But at the same time, it's better to play by yourself in that game, you know. And it depends what the game is. It depends on who you are. There's so many aspects and perspectives. Like when I say I don't like this or I'm not interested in that, you don't have to take that as a criticism against something you like. You just have to take it as, well, he likes that way, I like this way. It's not a big deal. You know, it's not like I'm trying to say that the game isn't as good as you think it is. You think it's that good because you like it, right? Every opinion's valid. Exactly. Every opinion's valid and the mass appeal will answer that opinion. So if you go to the positive reviews, you'll see that's overwhelmingly positive, over 3,000 people. That means if I stand up and say, well, it could be better because of this, that might be against 2,999 different people's opinion. And therefore I'm the unpopular opinion. But it doesn't mean that my opinion isn't my opinion. I'm still going to think the same. I'm just not going to sort of eat the Kool-Aid that everybody else is eating because I don't fancy it as much, right? It's not my flavor. I prefer Ribena. It's just that. The game's good, and I never said the game wasn't good. What I said was it has, it might have, again, it hasn't, it might have shortcomings with me for longevity. That's all it is. I just wouldn't probably play that game on the long term because it doesn't seem to have any replayability that I'm interested in. It does have replayability, but not one I would be interested in. So if it does, I will reserve judgment for when it releases. I'm not here to sway your opinion. I like hearing your thoughts. Well, exactly, and I'm not trying to put you off your own game. You came in saying you loved it, and you are rightly so. That game is very impressive on the baseline. Just playing the demo, I'm hooked. I want to play more. It's just I don't have the game to have an educated opinion, but you do. You have the game. So if you have the full game, I'm sure the demo convinced you to buy the game. Now it hasn't done that to me. I'm not going to be spending my hard-earned money on it, but I would imagine the devs would be interested in sending it to me so that I can do a full review, because obviously any negatives I have to say about the demo would be maybe wiped away with the full copy, right? So if I had the full copy, maybe I'd have a different opinion, or you know, whatever. But it is what it is. I did like it. It's a game that I like the combat enough to play it. That was the thing. So no matter what's in it or what it does, I'm going to play it because of the combat itself. And I think the game sells itself a little bit short when it comes to that combat. So I think it could be amped up, if you know what I mean, in its write-up by saying that it resembles something along the lines of a fluid combat kung fu, you know, or martial arts style. You know, it should really big that up. It seemed like it kind of fell flat. It just went, yeah, we do, you know, we time-based fight. That's not really what it is. It's more, for someone like myself, it's actually awesome in its fight styles. I thought there was a bit of Tai Chi in there, a little bit of Kung Fu, then there was some fucked up, like, slap your face stuff going on. It was really weird. I wish the demo would show you more of the skills as such. Yeah, again, if you get, like, really OP special moves, and if there's a lot more in the combat, then I'm sold already, right? I will jump in. I will take a look at it. See, this game's slow paced, right? But I've got to get through the boards to have an opinion of it because it's the sort of full demo, and I've got the full release when it releases next week. Unfortunately, the game devs did not give me the full release of the game for whatever reason. So I've only got the demo to go by because they asked me to check the demo out. So that's what I do. I don't do any more than a mask because that's more work for me. So that's what they asked. That's what I did. The trailer had a lot of copyright music. Yeah, I mean, I was lucky that that game decided not to do that. You know, being able to help creators create is a big... And again, it's like Black Flag, right? Assassin's Creed. There is so much nonsense going on with creators with that game that there's embargoes. There's no waffle. You're not allowed to you're not allowed to say anything negative about the game. Those who are playing it now on Twitch are usually getting paid to play it, and they're under embargo about saying negativity. That game's trash, bro, and nobody knows it's trash because no one's really talking about it. And I intend to talk about it on Thursday. I'm coming out and playing the original game because the original game still slaps hard, and I think that the modern version of it is going to suck because of what I've seen and what I've heard. You know, I speak to other YouTubers and I know that game sucks. But Disco is such a small group at the moment. I didn't hear anything. If I can't say my negative thoughts, then I don't want it. Pretty much, I think you should be able to speak your mind because, not like you said earlier about the opinions, everybody has a point of view. Now, your point of view, let's say you're really rich. You come from money, you come from wealth. You might have a very different opinion to somebody who's actually slept homeless about a very similar subject. You could pick any subject that you both have in common, but you'll both see it from such different perspectives that you won't relate to each other. And this is where the internet is great because it gives everyone a say. And sometimes, as long as those people can have a black, white and grey discussion, because most of it resides in the grey, then you're good. You don't have to be corrected. You don't have to be right or wrong. You just have to know that there is two sides and look at both sides educatedly. Then you can come to a sensible, you know, I've reviewed games that ain't come out for 6 months. When they come out, everything I said come true because I can see it from both sides. I can see who it markets to. I can see why they would build a game like this. And I can see why anybody would want or not want that game. So I know that God of War, the new one's going to suck and it's going to fail. I don't need to play the game to know that because of where it comes from, the team that built it, the whole ethos behind it. Everything that is in that game sucks the biggest nuts. Now, whether someone in that team says you're wrong, you don't know, you haven't played it, that's cool because they're coming from a different perspective. But I will be right when it comes out. I know I'm going to be right 100% without fail. That game's going to suck. And it's because they don't listen. They don't understand. They're not willing to live in the grey area. They just are on the white or black. And if you're on white or black, you'll always only listen to yourself because you're not willing to do the grey area. And it sucks when people do that. It really sucks when movies do that. I mean, everything has been destroyed by over feminizing companies and allowing too much say in things of people that don't have the qualifications to say anything. And you've destroyed so far as an industry, you've destroyed Star Trek, Star Wars, Batman, Superman, Supergirl, Marvel. Basically everything is being destroyed in front of your eyes, and yet you don't take ownership as to why it's destroyed. It's not one person, one company, one state. It's one collective thought process of white and black. There is no grey. You are not allowing the greys to talk. The greys are the ones that have a brain cell to say, well, it probably failed because of this, and maybe you should have changed that. You don't want to hear it. You just want white and black. And it's destroying everything. Games, movies, music, everything's going down the pan. Not all of it. There is other parts of it that are really good. That, you know, you get the great movies now and again, you know. I watched one with Josh Hartnett the other day called Trap. Great movie. Really good. Not like nonsense, not broken. It's just, you know, it's a good movie. But it came out in a time full of bad movies. And I think if you can shine in an era of bad content, then you're winning. And it's the same with video games, it's the same with everything. If I can't say my negative thoughts and I want it, I never been this invested in a game before. Wow, you really like it. That's really good. That's really cool. Leave men's stuff alone. Well, I wouldn't go as far to call it men's stuff. I mean, you know, if you look at the original trilogy of Star Wars, for instance, it had male, female, it had people of color, it had people of different ethnic backgrounds. It was never uninclusive, but they say that now like it's so fucking inclusive. Everybody says we're so diverse, we're so inclusive, and by doing that, they exclude rather than include. They just pretend that they include, and that sucks. You know, exclusion to certain types, certain categories, especially if it's your biggest market. You know, let's be fair, probably white bearded men who in their mid sort of 30s and 40s are the biggest consumer of long play games. We buy games that we like to sit down and do 40 to 80 hours in. We buy games for $60 to $80. We are the main consumer of that product. The movies, I would say it's a sort of nearly a sort of 50-50, maybe a 60-40 split, where, you know, women and men, we love the same things. We share the same time. You know, you can't go on a date without going for a meal and a movie, right? But there is nothing to see at cinema now. Nothing left to see. Cinemas are struggling, movie companies are struggling, and they don't look at themselves and say why, because they're either white or black. They can't say, and I don't mean colour, forget colour, I'm talking about white and black in their mindset. It's my way or no way. It's our way or their way. It's not actually no grey area to have a discussion, to sit down and say, well, you know, that game's starting to suck that you're making. Maybe we should dial this back, move that around and change that character. And then maybe people won't receive it so negative because you're asking your target market. They don't ask the target market, and therefore they don't get an actual honest response. Now, you come to me with the disco and you said, I love the disco and I can't wait for you to play it. I played it. I loved it. I thought it was a great game from the demo, right? From the demo. And you're telling me the whole game's great. So then I'm going to try that game and I might either disagree or agree, but I'm not going to be like judgmental of your choice of liking it. It's just, you know, we have different tastes. So for me, I think that game's going to smash it. I think it's going to do very well. And I think I would back that game. That's just based on the demo, you know, and I think when you see a trailer for a movie or a trailer for a game, we know instantly whether we feel positive about it or not. And if a company puts a trailer out and they still don't get it, while it got like more negative down votes than up votes, i.e. the thumbs down to the thumbs up, if you don't know why you're getting that hate and you just think, well, it's just people being racist or people being sexist or people being negative, it's not. It's your game sucks. You just don't get it. And it's weird that they don't get it. For years we've watched it, and it's not like, to them it's their only company right now, but to me it's been 5-10 years in the making, maybe even 20 years in the making. We've seen it unfold as time's gone on. Anything, I always say, anything prior to 2013 is safe zone for everybody. Everything made up to 2013 is absolutely gold. Xbox 360, PS3 era, everybody can turn that on, any game you want, have a great time. From 2020 and beyond, we are going to have the problem of looking at a game. Say we've got a cover, we look at the cover and we go, that looks like it could be dodge, that looks like it could not have my best interests at heart, that's going to wind me up, that's going to make me mad, that's going to be a game that's going to be a waste of time playing. Men don't waste time. That's not what we do. We like to, as a male myself, we like to invest time in something that feels rewarding and gives us a sense of achievement. Now, God of War is not going to do that. Assassin's Creed, the Resynced, is not going to do that. And again, with the one before that, the Samurai one, I mean, what a load of nonsense that was. Didn't sell well, nobody wanted it, and they couldn't understand why. Was it because we were racist against the black bloke? No. Was it because the female wasn't, you know, let's say in a correct time period? No. It was because you try to shoehorn nonsense. When you shoehorn nonsense, our brain doesn't accept it. Because in your world, the devs world, They accept that nonsense because they make believe. Everything about them's a lie. They tell lies. They live a lie. They buy into lies. Real people don't play nonsense. It's just that we can't buy into it, you know. And I can play a game in space. I can play a game in Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland, Alice McGee's Wonderland. I love that freaking game. None of that is real, but it feels right. And when you get that feeling of wrong, your body can't undo that. Your mind just tells you that's nonsense. And that's where we switch off, you know, and that's where we switch off with our money, with our time, our effort, everything just goes away. And once you lose it, you know, like Ubisoft at the minute, they have zero confidence from the consumer. Zero confidence. I don't know a single person that's real that I know, as in like a real human being who, you know, likes real stuff. When I say real, I don't mean like real as in I can touch them. I mean real as in their mindset. If they're real, they're not buying anything Ubi or EA or anyone else tries to make, you know. FIFA, for instance. FIFA came out, sold very well. Loads of people playing it. But I don't know who. I don't know who these people are. Because that game's just full of microtransactions. Everything is a microtransaction in that game. And again, Assassin's Creed, they're talking about DLC. They're talking about woke storylines. They're talking about characters doing things they didn't do in the original game. And I said 6 months ago, please just leave the game as it is and put a nice skin over the top. Yeah, make it pretty and sell it to me at $25. But instead, they try and sell it at $60, $80 with DLC. Then there's more DLC coming, and they're rewriting storylines. They're changing characters out to be more diverse. And if they keep doing shit like that, then they just lose audience. They lose respect. Nobody wants to buy their shit. And unfortunately, that's where they've gone. And that's what's happened. Their game is dropping off hard. It still garners about 26,000 people, but that sounds a lot. But when you look at Power Worlds, that garners 500,000 players right now. Right now, 500,000 people are playing Power World. And you know why? No DLC, no rewrites, no nonsense, no diversity tags. It's in a fantasy world with fantasy things. Of course, your opinion is valid, and even if your demo works for you, even if the demo works for you, I still see where they could improve on selling it. Yeah, I don't doubt that game's going to be awesome, to be honest. All the bad guys I thought were correct. They felt right. Every aspect of that game was really sweet. I've wasted a lot of time talking about things that I wouldn't normally talk about, so I'm going to try and get back into the gameplay and finish this guy off. So we've got our first sort of mini boss right now. So I'm going to try and whop him, and then I'm going to move on to the end of this path as much as possible. Even if you fail, you get shards, which ain't a bad thing, right? So shards will get you some buffs later on. You come back stronger. I haven't actually been able to use any of those yet, so I'm hoping at the end of this run we can. I've got a few things to say about this game at the end as well. I am not overly happy with it. I think there's a lot that I would have done different, and I'm just going to mention those because it definitely... It's a good, solid game. Like, I like the animations and stuff, but it's just weird. It's weird that my characters are looking at me. That feels really off. It would have been better to have them up the top and have the enemies this side looking that way. Do you know what I mean? Or just turn my dudes round. I wouldn't even have a problem with that. Okay, Aura's a new one. So this is essentially something to do with a sword. Activate the adjacent item triggered the activation. Auras can affect certain types. We've got a purple armor. Hell yeah. There we go. Oh wow, we're getting a purple weapon as well. Very gen. Okay, let me drop that in the inventory real quick. And then we need to switch this crusty hammer out for this bad boy. No, go in there. It's that Tetris thing. There you go. Now we probably don't need this one anymore. We do have the helmet. And then we've probably got an upgrade for this guy now. So give him the hammer. Give him a hat. This might even be better. It's cool that you can double up on the hat. Like I could put 3 helmets in there if I want. That's a cool animation to get rid of that as well. There we go. Both men are buffed as we can go. We do need a little break here. We need to be able to get some sleep. Got myself a trinket. Nice. Okay, so before we move on, can we heal our character? There's no way to heal character here. There's no camp. What's this? Can we use this outside of combat? Can't seem to click it. Okay, so there's something I would want to change. I'd want to change the health potion. I'd want to be able to use that outside of combat. And also, there's no camp here. There is a camp as you go up, but there's no like camp that you can create using resources. So at the minute, I've got 24 health. I'm going to get oofed if I don't use my health potions as my first move. That might not even be good enough to beat this guy, because this guy's kind of tanky, right? I can only use 1 health at a time. Now we're going to take beats. I don't mind him attacking him at all. Now I can use the other health. It's only half a bar. It's only half a bar, boys. I'm going to get into your comments as soon as I can, Bubs. Give me a minute. Yeah, we are doing no damage to this man. This is game over all day long. I tried my best. And my guys are buffed as well. It's all about the shard game at this point. Oh no, Tony! It's only 4 o'clock. We might be able to squeeze in another one. Critical. He criticaled me for like thousands. I'm being dramatic. So we got the most valuable item. Again, it was decent armor, but we just didn't have the beans to keep it going. There's 164 shards available now. Let's go back to the menu. Barracks. So now we have 265, which means we can get a buff. So we can go for critical here, or we can go for slash damage. I'm assuming slash damage is better. 30% buff on that one. It seems like we can go up by about 5, maybe 6 or 7. But yeah, it's going to go up at least 5, and it's going to double every time we do that. Main menu. And that's about it for lootbound. It's not perfect. There is some flaws that I don't like. I don't like the fact that my characters face me. It feels really weird. I know they're going for like a D&D table vibe, but with a roguelike skin on it. For me, I'd rather switch my characters around the other way, or at least swap them with the enemy and have the enemy facing that way and my characters attacking towards me. It just feels like lazy, if anything. And I know it's not purposely done like that because the animations are nice. The items, things like using health outside of the map was a big deal. I think that should be implemented. I think that they should be able to stack in your inventory. Sometimes you pick up 3-4 health potions. You don't want to use them, but they don't stack in your inventory. So you have to leave other things behind, which is really annoying. I get the risk and reward thing, but sometimes you just make a problem rather than a solution. And I think overall, let's score the game because the game is coming out next week. I reckon this is a 3 out of 5 game for me because visually, it's actually really nicely done. Sound effects fit that visual, and the actual replayability of this game is super high. Was it fun? Nah, maybe. Maybe I could have some fun with it. It just felt a little bit forced. I felt like it was pretty enough to wow me, but not fun enough to keep me in the game. So for me, it falls short there. It's not actually a fun game. It's just a very sort of going through the motions of a D&D game with that roguelike element. It's been done. It's been done. I'm bored of it. It's not that great. But it is a budget game. So bear that in mind. It's around $15, $20. And in most places, I don't know what the actual price is going to be. I don't know if it says it online. We'll double check that. No, I don't have a price. I don't actually have an official price right now, but I think it's going to be between $15 and $20. If it comes out at $10, then yeah, I'll say snap it up. So check in with it about in a week's time and see what price it releases for, because I think if you use $10, it's probably worth picking up. Follow it, wish list it, you know, keep an eye on it. The demo's available. Go check it out for yourself. Let me know where I'm wrong or right. Overall, lootbound definitely falls short on a couple of my key moments, key scoring aspects. And again, I reserve final judgment until this game releases fully, but I will be jumping back in about 2 months time and checking it out after full release and a couple of updates and see what's going on with the game there. So I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you for your time. Your time is valuable, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Look after yourselves. Bye-bye. Right, that's done. That's all of the quotas here, i.e. the list. I'm just going to see if I've got anything else laying around, really, because we're good for time. So we'll see. You love Power World. Oh, yeah, I was going to do your comments. Hang on. Okay. What I want to do is just uninstall those demos quickly, because I have the full game coming. It's a shame that the Dead as Disco was such a small demo, such a small snippet. And then you've got the opposite with Runes of Dawn, which is just a really long demo. Okay, cool. So Heartwood Online, Pixar, again, we've only got a small amount of time, so maybe picking something sort of 15, 20 minute long. Just gonna find something I've got installed. Dun, dun, dun. Don't really have anything. I mean, I've got one I want to do tomorrow. Rather save it. Yeah, I think I'm done. I don't really have anything I'm really curious about jumping into at a minute, so we'll pick it up again tomorrow. Where was we? Ruined music, and music was better in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Jesus Christ, you could have just said 90s, 50s to 90s. Ooh, no such thing as a black samurai. There was actually, apparently there is a black samurai that I've seen that they compared it to, but it wasn't the one in the game, and they just sort of like thought, well, there has been one, so let me make another one. That's where that came from, I think, but I don't know that it's true. I don't know, you know, none of us lived during that time period, so who knows. Love Power World. Power World's just legendary. Power World is winning hard right now. I think that's the go-to game for most people. And again, that's something these other companies don't really realize. Once you have a go-to game, that's it. You don't need too many other games. And unlike me, you have like 1,300 games. Most people just have a couple. You know, I have people that just have 5, 6 games in their library, and they just play those. You know, I can tell you what they are as well, because I've got my friend list here. Let me tell you. I'll tell you what I do. I'm going to go to SteamDB, and at this current time, I'm going to look at some certain games. So let's do the disco. So Dead in Disco, wasn't it? Dead in Disco. Was it Dead in Disco? Ah, there it is. Dead as Disco. Okay, there's only 400 people in that game right now. So as far as a player base, because it's predominantly a single player martial arts game, you're never going to garner a big following. You also have Power World's got 791. That's nearly 1 million players. That is absolutely insane. That is as close to CSGO as I've ever seen another game. I don't think I've seen another game get anywhere close to that. Next to Battlefield's release, which I think was about 600,000. We're talking 791. That's nearly 800,000 people That's very close to a million. CS:GO has 1,100,000 right now. So over a million. Dota's nearly on 800. PUBG's 600,000. And then the rest are just, your usual suspects. Apex Legends, Binding of Isaac, Rust, GTA, these sort of things. But when you look at the upcoming list, none of them are anything you would expect. Like, really, Tainted Grail still holding strong. What else we got? Torchlight Online, free to play. That's holding on strong. Strikers Club, the football game, that's holding on strong. And as a comparison, if we go to Assassin's Creed or Assassins and go to Resynced, it's got 43,000 people, which is the most people in that game I think I've seen. If I click it, it will tell me how many. So it sold over 100,000 copies, but there's only 43 in the game because it's been dropping off over time. That's going to halve within the next couple of weeks, and maybe even shorter than that. So 43,000 compared to, let's say, Power Worlds, which, I mean, Power Worlds top tier. Let's go to the lowest. So 43,000. Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley right now has 100,000 players, and Assassin's Creed can't get 40. That's mental. That is mental. Stardew Valley is a 2D crafting game that was made by one dude. And then you have this massive company, Ubisoft, who just keep making bad choices and putting out slop. And then you end up with that sort of numbers. I mean, I would be ashamed to work for that company right now. But that's just personal. I'm going to bounce before I say something I shouldn't say. Enjoy yourselves. I will see you in the next one. We are back tomorrow and Thursday. Thursday, we're actually doing Black Flag, the original game. So I'm looking forward to that. And if you haven't already followed, check out YouTube and that. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.